Welcome to another truck hardware installation tutorial. Today we're installing our new Gatorback mud flaps and finishing caps on a 2023 GMC Sierra HD. These flaps are a great way to protect and improve the overall look of your vehicle. As always, remember that this video is to be used as a companion to the included installation instructions. Before you start, make sure that all hardware included with your kit is present and ready for installation. With all that out of the way, let's get started on the front of the vehicle. To start, remove the 3 factory screws located on the front of the mudguard. Then move to the underside of the vehicle and remove the 2 remaining screws holding the guard in place. We can now remove the guard from the truck. Using a 5/16 socket on an extension, reach into the cavity shown here and apply pressure onto the push pin located on the inside of the guard. This push pin can be seen in the following example footage. Once pushed in, you can pull the guard off of the truck. Next, take your custom mud flap and start attaching it to the vehicle. To do this, use 5 sets of machine screws and flat washers to loosely secure the flap to the same 5 factory holes that held the factory mudguard in place. As you move the flap into position, make sure the lip on the top of the cap slides underneath the fender molding. As you are about to finish securing this hardware, push up on the bottom of the flap to close the gap between the flap and the fender lip. Then tighten all fasteners as you hold the flap in place. Your front mud flap is now installed. Next, we'll move on to the rear of the vehicle. To start, we will remove the factory mudguard. Remove the 3 screws from the front of the guard circled here. Then move to the underside of the guard and remove the 2 factory screws located there. Once the hardware is removed, pull the mudguard off of the vehicle. Now take the custom-made finishing cap included with your kit and position it onto the vehicle, making sure that the top lip of the finishing cap slides under the fender molding. Now use 2 sets of hex head screws and flat washers to secure the finishing cap to the 2 factory holes on the underside of the vehicle. Next, we'll begin attaching the mud flap. Take your mud flap and place a mounting clip into the top hole of the flap. Loosely secure it in place using a slotted flat washer and a cap screw. Repeat this process for the next hole on the flap. With the mounting clips in place, take your mud flap and attach the hole circled here to the factory hole here, using an offset washer and a long hex head screw. With the flap now attached to the vehicle, take the mount clips you installed earlier and slide them behind the fender lip. An example of how the clips should sit can be seen in the following footage. As you position the mount clips, take a second to make sure the slots on the washer line up with the slot on the clips. Then loosely fasten the clips in place. When tightening this hardware, double check that the remaining holes on the flap line up with the holes on your finishing cap. Readjust the flap if necessary. Now move down to the last two holes of the flap and secure it in place using two sets of long hex head screws and offset washers. With the square or other leveling tool, make sure the mud flap is level. We also recommend you take a step back and visually gauge the mud flap to check that it is aligned correctly. Once your flap is level, secure all fasteners. We suggest you tighten this hardware by hand and be careful not to over-tighten any fasteners. Congratulations! You've just finished installing your Gatorback mud flaps. If you found this video helpful, give us a like and subscribe. Check out the rest of our channel and website for additional tips, tricks, and installation guides. Thanks for choosing Truck Hardware.